I love to tell people to always be curious, always ask questions. There's never a question that is not worth asking. And I say often, what we got in trouble for as children ends up being our gifts as adults. So I was always in trouble for asking too many questions and being too sensitive. Yeah, be curious, ask questions.
Hey, everybody, welcome to my show. My name is Tiffany Alexander, and this is Unveiling Journeys. I'm excited to have you here today. I can't wait for this episode. Let me tell you just a few minutes about myself. I love people. I love hanging out with people. I love networking with people. I love sharing circles. And this is actually why the podcast was born because I could no longer be quiet about how darn cool they were. And I wanted everybody to know everybody. But what it looks like is whenever I hang out with people, I always go, hey, do you know anybody that I should know? And by the way, I know so many people you need to know. And how can I get them to you? Can I three-way message them? And then let's do it again. Let's hang out whenever we want to, whenever we need, so I can share the circles of all the people. That's led me to be what some people call a super connector. And I'm not even mad about that title. I love it. And I have a great guest for you today. So do me a favor, welcome, Permelia. I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you for coming and being on. Do this. I want you to tell everybody who you are and what you're up to right now.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. This is just delightful to be on your podcast today. Um, yes, I'm Permelia Parham. I am Canadian. I live on the west coast of Canada on a beautiful island called Vancouver Island. And what I'm up to right now is really delving into health and healing and spreading holistic ways to be well and stay well so that we can send out that information to the world and let people know that there are so many wonderful, fabulous ways that they can be well. And so that's my passion, and that's what I'm up to right now.
I love this. I find myself interviewing so many B2B that are like just saying, let me help your business and create this ripple effect. But you, by helping the actual human with anything that's going on, is the ultimate ripple effect to keep someone healthy for many, many different reasons. And we had so many good chats that I thought, I want to share your story to come on the show and be able to show people your journey and then share your excitement for some of the projects you're working on right now. Let's do that. Tell me, where did this all begin? Are you born and raised in Vancouver? And Vancouver Island. And then what did you think you were going to be when you grew up and schooling and so forth? I know I just asked a really loaded question.
Okay, I think I answered this the other day to someone. So this is what I did after first day of summer vacation. I would get all my friends lining up or sitting. I had little chairs, and we're going to go to school. We're having school. This is first day of summer vacation, and of course, who was the teacher? Yeah, mom. So I think I always thought I was going to be a teacher,
Yeah.
but it didn't work out that way, that I became a teacher in our educational system. I still feel like I'm a teacher, and I love teaching, and I love telling people information, giving people information. So I think I fulfilled what I thought although I didn't have specific thought process back in grade two, but I think I am doing what I was meant. Well, I know I'm doing what I was meant to do. And
Yeah.
that was one of the things that I used to do all the time.
I love that. I love that. Now,
Nobody
when
else
you
can be the teacher, only me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Gosh, that's great. Did you end up going into schooling for teaching, thinking you were gonna carry on with that path?
No, as a matter of fact, um, when I left school, I ended up working for our Canadian federal government, which was a great career. I was actually versions of that job because things change for 25 years. So I did, I always refer to it as corporate Canada because I know people in the United States, they understand corporate America, right? So I didn't actually as I said, I was doing different kinds of jobs in that career, in that 25-year career. Whatever was available that I thought I would like to do, I just applied on it and usually got the job. So I wasn't really focused on anything else at the time. And then when about 25 years ago, I was going through some processing of myself, and I knew I had to really just search inside. And I was searching for someone, and this person showed up in my life. I called her my energy teacher, and I ended up studying with her for 8 years, and then did all my schooling here on Vancouver Island because my dad was in the Canadian Navy. And then my parents moved back to where they were from originally, from Alberta, which is very funny because most people will move from Alberta to Vancouver Island,
Right.
not the other
Yeah.
way away, the other
Cold
way
over
around.
there.
But they were actually their families, all like my mother's brothers and family, and my dad's parents were still alive at the time. So I ended up there, and that was mostly my career with the federal government. And then, as I say, I was searching, started to work with this energy teacher who really taught me about balancing, about vibration. I had no clue that we all have vibration, but we do.
Yeah. I'm just
And
recently learning in it now. I love that you got into it too later in life.
yeah, yeah, and just I was not in a joyful spot, and I really knew I needed to search, and I wanted something that would bring my joy back because I'm usually a pretty happy-go-lucky person. Yeah, then as it turned out, ended up moving back to Vancouver Island from Alberta and have been here for 18 years. Just this this I live in a small city kind of in the middle of Vancouver Island, and there's just so many wonderful energy teachers and practitioners and psychics, and like it was made for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what did that look like when you kind of graduated out of that system, your teacher of 8 years? And what did you go to do with career then?
Oh, well, that's a very interesting question. So I had never thought that I was going to actually be doing energy work. I was just doing it for me because I needed to have that base. And so when I was moving, I said to my teacher, I'm going to miss you so much. Oh, no, don't you worry. You're going to be doing something like that out there. I'm like, excuse me? I'm going to what? But because I had that joy from inside out, when I moved here, first of all, had left the federal government. Obviously, I was able to retire from that, or I got a buy. It was called a buyout. You could so many years you had in, you were able to leave. Um, and and so I got a job at a resort because we have lots of resorts here on Vancouver Island. And so
Yeah.
I was the hostess in this, and I'd never worked in the serving industry. All the jobs I ever had, I'd never worked in the serving industry. But my coworkers are like, "How come you're so happy all the time?"
I love that.
And so I said, "Well, I actually do an energy balance before I come to work just so that I've got my," and they're like, "You do what?" And so we had a little more of a chat, and they said, "We need to know more about how to do this." So I was going back to Edmonton to visit my children because they were still living there about a year after I moved here. And I said to my energy teacher, I was like, well, apparently your prediction's coming true because now my coworkers want to know. So now what do I do? And she said, she gave me carte blanche to just teach anybody everything that she had taught me,
Wow. That's
which was
cool.
pretty amazing, pretty
Yeah.
remarkable.
It's a
Yeah,
gift
it was
to
a huge gift. And she's in her 90s now. I know she's not doing the work anymore. So I'm just happy to be able to, fulfill and continue her legacy. And
100%.
yeah. And then part of learning like chakra balancing and realigning belief systems, healing past lifetime energy, all the things she had taught me. I learned I was introduced to a modality called the emotion code and the body code, and that's looking at trapped emotions that are in in their subconscious, but also in your body. And of course, it made perfect sense to me because I'd already have been studying about energy and vibration and auras, um, and so I started uh, to study. It's a course that you take, an online course with Dr. Bradley Nelson, who is the one who created created the protocols, and got certified by him in both the emotion code and then the body code is looking at everything that's going on in the body. So that's the
What is
modality.
that certification like? Does it take a long time to do?
It's an online course in modules, and I started. I think it took me about a couple months to get the emotion code certification. I had to submit a an exam that was multiple choice, but still, I had to get 95% in the exam. And then I had to submit 30 case studies.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, 26 people and 4 animals.
Animals, that's
'Cause
amazing.
it works with animals too,
Yeah.
and children, and so because it's our subconscious. Of course, I already had clients because I was working with the other protocols that I'd learned from my energy teachers. So I already had clients. I would just say, "Hey, can I do? Are you interested in me doing a complimentary session for you?" Uh, and so that worked out really really well. So I was certified in that in the motion code, which is kind of the first level in January pardon me, February of 2018. And then I was introduced to the body code by someone that had it on their tablet and on their like iPad. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is really involved because it is looking at everything that's going on in the body, all the organs, all the glands, all the systems in the body, the muscular system, respiratory system, immune system, like everything. So I was a bit overwhelmed when she showed it to me. But then after I started thinking, I think that would be the next step. So again, an online course with Dr. Bradley Nelson. I had to do 20 case studies, but I had to do 5 sessions for each person. So an intro session, 3 sessions, and then a follow-up session. And that all has to be submitted online. And then again, the test. So I got certified as a body code practitioner in December of 2019.
Hmm. How fun. How fun. That is what you're still working on right now, right?
Yes, yes, one that's my modalities the modality that I work with my clients, which I can do in person, over the phone, on Zoom, because it's energy, and energy goes anywhere, so,
Yeah. Wow, that's
yeah.
wonderful. Now, this is your entire practice. What is it like when um someone's like, "Hey, I need you." Like, what does it look like when people come find you? Is it like a referral? And what are they saying and doing to think, "Oh my gosh, I need to know Permelia?"
Actually, I do get lots of referrals, because 'cause I've been doing this now for, well, for quite a while, for a number of years. I also write for a local wellness newspaper, that's in my area where I live, and so I do get quite a few referrals from that newsletter that I write, or the article that I write in the newspaper. That's a monthly article that I write for that newspaper. So, um, and then people find me online. They'll Google energy healing, and they'll find me.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
What does like you've been doing this for so long and you're so good at it. You have amazing clients. Why why do you keep doing this though? Like why do you keep showing up? Like you could just kick up your feet and retire right now.
I could. I do not know what that means. I have no idea what the definition of the word retirement is. Um, I'm just really passionate about wanting people to be as healthy as they possibly can. And so I just want people to know, we've had a medical system for 50 years that isn't really working that well. And basically, I say it's because they only ever looked at symptoms. They didn't look at the root cause of why a person had a headache or felt anxious. They didn't dig deep enough. Their training was just to look at sort of a physical, for the most part, a physical symptom,
Right.
and then deal with it, right? And
100%.
so there's reasons why we have the, we have physical issues, and they're usually all because of trauma or something that's happened to us. And in the body code, you can actually inherit trapped emotions. So going back many generations. So those of us that have had grandparents that went through World War I, parents that went through the Depression and World War II, there was a lot of trauma in our life, that has happened, and maybe not personally in our life, but in their life, right? My grandfather, my mother's father, fought at Vimy Ridge in the First World War. My father was in the Second World War, first in the Navy, British Navy, because he was too young to join the Canadian Navy. And then we got sent to what they call the Korean conflict twice when I was young. So there's a lot of trauma that we can inherit that we don't know. As I say, it's not trauma that we have personally had ourselves, but we've inherited it from generations, and we can go back many, many, many generations. So just we I really am passionate about, let's be as healthy as we possibly can, because when we feel good,
Yeah.
we do good,
Mhm, mhm.
right? So
Right.
when we feel good, we are our best versions of ourselves. We can then make a contribution, and we do. We make a contribution to making the world a better place. And I
I
know that sounds really trite.
No, it doesn't at all. I was just gonna say your phrase you just said is the exact opposite of the one that's like hurt people. Because when we feel good, we do good, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, actually, for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, man.
So
Well, at this point, people are thinking, "Wait, I wanna know you. How do I find you? What's your favorite way for people to come find you?"
LinkedIn, I have a profile on LinkedIn. I have a website. I have an email address. I'm on Facebook.
What's
I'm
your,
on
website
Instagram.
address?
I'm everywhere.
Yeah. What's your website?
So the one that I have for the body code is vibrationalhealing.ca.
Nice. Perfect. And then if you guys were like, "I can't find," just send me a message. I'll get you
Yeah,
connected on LinkedIn.
yeah,
It's at
that'd be
least us, right? It goes with us everywhere. And
and it's,
sometimes
Permelia Parham on LinkedIn. You'll
Yep.
find me there.
Nice, nice. All right. 2 more questions. What's next? Like, what's on the horizon?
Well, what has been on the horizon for the last couple of years is I've created a worldwide online healing platform called the Healing Institute.
Mhm.
So I decided I wanted it to be global, because I really wanted to make that global reach, because I am so passionate about helping people. At this point in time, we have a few practitioners on our hub on our site. We're always looking for more in all different modalities, and we also have some projects in Africa, which is really exciting. Some of the communities in Africa that we've done projects with last year, and we're working on some projects this year.
That's great. That's great. So this is your guys' message to know not only do you need to go follow her, you're going to continue to follow her so you can see all the new projects she's working on. Let's do this. I want to ask you the last question. What should we end our show with? What are your words of wisdom, your famous nuggets that we want to wrap up the show with?
I love to tell people to always be curious, always ask questions. There's never a question that is not worth asking. And I say often, what we got in trouble for as children ends up being our gifts as adults. So I was always in trouble for asking too many questions
Eh,
and being too sensitive.
Oh,
Yeah, be curious, ask questions. If there's anything that comes up and doesn't quite feel right, that's another thing. Be tuned into your body, be tuned into your heart as to, and now there's heart math that says it's really our heart that's the brain, not this one. The communication is from the heart to that part of the body. So, yeah, be curious. Anything that's coming up that doesn't feel right for you, um, do your research. Find out why, or ask a question, or get in touch with a therapist or a practitioner that can help you unwind it, because
Yeah,
it's so important for us each to be the best version of ourselves so that we can contribute what we need to contribute to this world.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time. I'm so
Well, thank
grateful that we
you.
got to have the show. And everybody listening, I'm so grateful that you got to stay and hang out. And I look forward to seeing everybody on our next episode. I'll see you then. Bye.